All right, well, I got so charged up doing the last video about I won, now what? I got to do a sequel. And this was, after I had some moment to reflect. I want to talk about the power, or two very powerful words. Go ahead. When they make a threat, like in the case of a recent case of a friend of mine, she was receiving threats that this guy was going to get her fired from her job. He wouldn't say how, what, or why. Oh, but trust me, I know, right? It was terrifying. It can be very terrifying when you're a good person, you live all your life, you're friendly, you're good-natured, you believe in karma, what goes around comes around, and you do nothing but good things, and then out of nowhere this destructive force comes around. And they're so destructive and so toxic that you just begin to take their word for stuff. And they eventually, you just start believing that they can do whatever it is that they say that they're going to do, because you've seen them do other terrible things and succeed. And Frank, that's bluffing, is what they're doing. And, sometimes they hold the cards, sometimes they don't. But the thing about it is, if they're going to hold something over you, whether it's legitimate or not, get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. Give them free rein to do it. Push them to do it. You're going to get me fired? Here, call HR. Here's the number. Talk to Mary Smith. She's the HR director. She's the one that does all the firings. I've told her that you have something you want to tell her. Give her a call. And you know what they'll do? They'll back out of it. They'll talk their way out of it. They'll do whatever, right? They won't do it, right? Because then that puts them on the spot. And this is the thing about when you say, go ahead, this is why they won't. They're not prepared to approach Mary Smith in HR. They don't know her. And that's scary. Anytime they're threatening you with other stuff, what they don't know, they won't do. So you can say, call HR. Go for it. Go right ahead. Here's the number, 1-800, fuck you, right? Whatever it is they're threatening to do. They want to call the police? Call the police. Guess what? I have the number in my phone already where I was thinking about calling them about you, but then I didn't because I realized that you're just sad. I was going to call the cops, but then I realized that really you're just pathetic and you take it out on me because it makes you feel better because I let you. And that's sad. And I've just come to realize that the only way you can ever feel good about yourself is if you're beating on me and abusing me. And it's not a crime, it's actually just sort of pathetic, and I want to help you. You've got to learn, well, not learn, but you have to change your knowledge and understanding about who this abuser is. They're this really small, insignificant little flea of a man or woman. There's a little insignificant flea operating a big inflatable, right? That's a pretty good analogy because they typically have a very low self-image, very low self-esteem, and an overly inflated ego. So just imagine a little tiny flea operating a giant inflatable. Yeah, like the big Macy's parade balloons, right? They're huge. And if you didn't know anything about balloons, you think, oh my God, that is big and ominous and terrible. That thing could totally crush me. And then you broaden your knowledge of, balloon technology or balloon physics, whatever you want to call it. And you realize, oh no, that's just a giant inflatable. It's super soft. It's not actually, couldn't hurt me if it tried, right? That's a pretty good analogy. Now, with the exception of people who are physically violent, right? And I've started putting that disclaimer in there because the last thing in the world I want to do is go push somebody to end up with 2 black eyes, right? Or worse, But for the most part, if it's somebody who's not physically abusive, and many times a narcissist or a sociopath is not physically abusive because that leaves evidence, and then they would, they would be busted and they would go to jail for assault and battery, right? So if you have a narc who's smart enough to not hit, not punch, well, then what you've got is a giant inflatable. And it's really what they are. And when they start being terrible, you say, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll be right here. It's my imaginary watch. Again. Right? Go right ahead. Call the police. Here's the number. Go ahead. Call HR. Speak to Mary. Here's her number. Oh, you're going to sell my car? Go ahead. Here's the keys. Sell the car. You can just go report it stolen. Oh, you're going to lock me out of the house? Go ahead. I won't be back. I'm sending movers. Call them out on their shit. He's like, oh, you want to lock me out? You want to kick me out? I'll leave. You're packing my stuff, though. No, I'm not. Okay. Well, the movers will be here in the morning then. Bye. And you know what? You start leaving, they're going to freak out. So, especially if they've got borderline. If they've got some BPD in it. Woo! Borderlines fear abandonment more than anything else. You will see them spin the fuck off into a dimension of wow you've never seen. So, but in any case, to wrap that up, when they're making threats, when they're blackmailing you, when they're saying terrible things, and when they're going to do terrible things, you just say, go ahead. Be a little Clint Eastwood about it. Go ahead, make my day. I pull off a good Clint Eastwood. Some people just can't be topped. So, yeah. Say, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. You're going to be terrible. Be terrible. This is your opportunity. Do it now. Do it now. And then they won't do it. Like, then shut the fuck up. Here's your opportunity. If you're not going to call Mary and HR, well then shut the fuck up. If you're not going to call the police, then shut the fuck up. If you're not going to pack my shit, then shut the fuck up. Usually they shut the fuck up. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they actually call HR, and then that's hilarious. Let them call the police, and then when the police show up, just be like, I gave him your number. Talk to him. As far as I'm concerned, we're just talking. We're arguing. But, nothing's broken. There hasn't been any damage. Nobody's hit each other. I didn't hit him. He didn't hit me. So, apparently he just wants a referee. He wanted to charge the service call to him, actually. When y'all send the bill in the mail for a false alarm, send the false alarm bill to him. I just gave him the number, but I'm not the one who called. He's the one on the tape. Or she. So, that's all I got for now, and I'm going to get on with my fun home life. So, thank you very much. Please like, comment, or share, and we'll see you on the next video.